You got put on in prison. You're not from Botham. They don't know you. You see what I'm saying? Well, it's important to have your own homies. Even if you could be from, again, you got LA gangs everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Uh Houston. Over deep in Houston. Right? But they still have their own stuff too. The foreign park crib. They still follow those Hoovers, but they got their thing for them. It's still a homage to the land, but you gotta have your day one niggas. You see what I'm saying? If y'all have your own clique up under that umbrella, your own name up under that umbrella, whatever, but you gotta have your own niggas. You just became a Paru in the joint, and like you want Bompton to embrace you.
That's not stopping the internet detectives from trying to piece this puzzle together. One fan said, "That's a valid reason to leave. He should be protected."
What are we talking about? First and most give all praise to the Most High. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving all praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Now, real quick, I want to go into this clip you just seen. All right, this is video was titled "From Prophet to Gangsta Podcaster: The End of Guerrilla Hebrew." Sheesh. All right, this came out a few days ago, and I saw this, and it was, it immediately made me feel kind of irritated, to say the least, because you see this time and time again. You got Jakes that's, turning from the way. Okay, you came into this truth, to serve Yahawah Bashim Yahushai, not to promote, gang culture or anything like that. All right, as you see, this guy right here, Ahlazar, is doing. He's promoting gang culture. All right, and so much so that he's trying to pretty much mix it with this truth. Now let me say this: you got your platform from the truth. Okay, if it wasn't for the truth, you wouldn't have a platform. But this individual is now mixing the truth with gang culture, which is very detrimental, very deadly. Okay, not only for him but for our people, and even the people that's in his camp. This is the head of the Sicarii camp. The people that's in his camp, because he wears the hat, the H on his hat for Hoover Crip or whatever. And now you're picking a side, in gang conflicts that your members may not have no association with. All right, and this is why everybody's not meant to be, um, for one, everybody's not meant to be in this truth, man. But two, everybody's not meant to be a head of a camp, because you can lead men to their own destruction based off of your own actions. All right, so let's grab a few scriptures real quick. I'm going to play that back. It says Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing, and I don't know when this video was done. I just saw this video a few days ago. It came out a few days ago, but I don't know when this particular video was done. Okay, I'm guessing probably recently after the whole, situation with his camp and Hassad and Deacon Hakah and stuff. But Romans chapter 13, verse 11, it says, and that knowing the time, you got to understand what time we're in, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed. And we got to constantly have this spirit within us, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. And our people, that's not in this truth, they're dead asleep. Gangbangers, thugs, Crips, Bloods, them niggas asleep, dead asleep, okay? And us being in this truth, we got to understand that our salvation is nearer than we believed. And when the Lord comes back, we want to be found worthy to be delivered. We want to be found worthy to be called up into those ships. Let me check my... Okay, we good. Just got to make sure. It says that the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. So we got to cast off the works of darkness. All right, and what this brother was saying right here in this video was a bunch of darkness, man. Okay, you gotta get your own set of homies. You gotta be, you gotta be with the set. You gotta get put on all this. That's gangster talk. That's the shit that niggas in this world talk about. Okay, we shouldn't be speaking like niggas in this world. Okay, or living like niggas in this world, or admiring niggas of this world. Now, a few months ago, this guy went on No Jumper, and had an interview. He's been on there a few times, I believe, but he had an interview and he was discussing the same type of shit. Gang talk. Okay, instead of speaking about Yahawashi, and these guys, these are the same guys that say you don't have to worship Yahawashi. Okay, they said that they don't follow Paul's writings. They're not canon. Okay, but you'll go on a platform where millions and millions of people watch, and you go talk about gang culture and shit. What gang you with? And this guy is, you know, just shows you that he's still, in that gang life mentality. Okay, the scripture says that you gotta you don't have to choose. You can't play both sides. You can't straddle the fence. On one side you want to be a prophet or a priest. He called himself the high priest of Israel. On the next side you want to be um you know a Hoover Crip, a gangbanger. This is off. This is wickedness, and this is going to bring a lot of danger to the men that follow you. It says, "Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting or in drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying." And what we see with these individuals is they do a lot of shit that's not really profitable for the truth. Okay, and I'm gonna say it. The Passover that they had at the strip club, that shit was off. Okay, but this is what happens when you live in this lifestyle where you just trying to be like the people of this world. Prophesying outside of strip clubs, going to the hood. This is not what this is about. Okay, the Lord called us for a greater reason. Okay, and we're not here for niggas. We're not here for gangbangers. Hey, if they come into the truth and they repent, then that's one thing. But if they gonna stay in that lifestyle, then they got to take that shit down the road. It says, "But put ye on the Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof." And hey, we in this flesh, I get it. So in this flesh, you're gonna have many lusts. You might have did certain things prior to coming into the truth, but when you come into the truth, you're supposed to be a new man. You're supposed to be reborn. Okay, that's supposed to change. But for some people, it doesn't. All right, let's play this back so you can hear what he said again.
You got put on in prison. You're not from Boston. They don't know you. You see what I'm saying? Well, it's important to have your own homies. Even if you could be from, again, you got LA gangs everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Houston, over deep in Houston. Right? But they still have their own stuff too. The Foreign Park Crib. They still follow those Hoovers, but they got their thing for them.
What does any of this have to do with salvation? This whole video right here, what does any of this have to do with salvation that he's doing? What does any of this have to do with Yahawashi?
It's still a homage to the land, but you gotta have your day one niggas. You see what I'm saying? If y'all have your own clique up under that umbrella, your own name up under that umbrella, whatever, but you gotta have your own niggas. You just
And let me say this too. A lot of times in this truth, guys start clicking up. Guys start, as I remember when I was, new in this truth, Jake would say gang banging or camp banging. But a lot of times, a lot of that shit does go on. It becomes Jake come out of the world. Might have been in the gang before they came into the truth, and then they come into the truth and they try to push that vibration in the truth. That's not what this is about. Okay? This thing ain't about, clicking up and gang and camp banging and all that crazy shit, man. It's ultimately about the elect. Whoever the elect are, they're going to come together and they're going to, do the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But this right here is not the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And this is why you see these guys, hey man, stumbling and falling and, breaking down, not they breaking down certain scriptures wrong and stuff. And it's just like, wow. And this is a warning. Okay, to fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because this could be any of us. This is ultimately a demon on Ahlazar, whether he realizes it or not. This is a demon on this man. All right, and I actually, let me say this too. I met this guy before in Miami, years ago. I met him in Miami, and our spirits are not, it was like, we didn't click. Okay, because I could tell, Jake, was on a different time frame. All right, and me personally, even when I was in the world, I was never with the whole gang culture shit. I always had, I had friends that was in gangs and shit. I got family that's in gangs and shit, but I never, went into that lifestyle because it just, to me, it was silly, it was stupid, And it sounds like in this video, like he's trying to seem cool to the gangbangers. That shit is not it, bro. But when I met him, I seen how they was moving, him and a couple of individuals in the camp, which some of those individuals that I met that day are not even in this camp anymore. But I seen how they were moving, and it just, it didn't feel like it was in the spirit. I also met what's the guy named Captain Tazariak. I met Captain Tazariak one time, the guy that I was with. He was he was cool with both of these individuals. He was kind of starstruck by these individuals, and anytime they came to town, he wanted to go see him, so he ended up dragging me along. One time we went to go see Captain Tazariak, and Captain Tazariak was teaching. He's a great teacher. Captain Tazariak is a great teacher. He the way he speaks, and it draws you in. All right, he makes some very good points when he's teaching. But after he got done teaching, he got off the soapbox. He came down there and we talked or whatever. And Captain Tazariak told us, and this one I knew, oh hell no. But he said, you're not into the truth until you join ISUPK. I said, what the fuck? Wait a minute, what? So just because we don't join, until we join ISUPK, we're not in the truth. That's what he told me, dead to my face. Me and the individual that was with me, and I was like, and he was smiling and shit. I was looking at both of their ass like, what? Y'all, what? These things don't line up with the scriptures, okay? And this is why we, as men, you got to be in these scriptures, studying the scriptures, so you don't get, blindsided by, the glitz and glamour, the bells and the whistles, that individuals may try to bring to you. You also get a lot of false prophets out here teaching false doctrine, okay? You got some men that are sincere, but they are sincerely wrong. And that's why we always got to examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith, all right?
Became a Paru in the joint, and like you want Bompton to embrace you.
That's not stopping the internet detectives from trying to piece this puzzle together. One fan said, that's a valid reason to leave. He should be protecting her and helping her to heal. Others are giving Stunna the side eye. It's crazy how she put him on a pedestal until he ran when she got shot.
Now that's a fair point too, because she really did. I ain't gonna cap. It go both ways, because again, I looked at dude always as a weirdo from the jump. Not always, but as soon as I heard him talk, or really as soon as I seen him pass down on back on feed. Strip Talk J, the amazing point. Because Mulatto just said, who cares about this? But this is the same guy who just asked us to do a poll on, I don't even want to repeat. And for her, the way she just went so hard for the nigga, like, really didn't make no sense once I started to see him for who he was. But on the other end, hey, this is the nigga you fucking with, so you should go hard for him. You see what I'm saying? But like this comment says, it's crazy how she put him on a pedestal until he ran when she got shot. He was the hardest nigga in LA until he wasn't. All of a sudden, he's the coward that got ran up out of Oakland. I'm glad she's okay, but the egg is on her face. The fact that she laid up with him this whole time. He had a colostomy bag, but now she speaks ill of him. Not taking care of it is crazy work. This says a lot about her and her character. Her admitting to cheating for 2 years may send him over the edge. No, that's crazy too, because I'm almost forgetting that you said he got a colostomy bag. That he got a shit bag. If he's an intricate part of your career, and you guys had a network, Red Rum, which Red Rum was an OD ass name for a network anyway. Like, that's just overblood. We gonna call the new network Red Rum. Man, y'all was whooping too hard, man. What did FYBJ man say? Y'all over whooped.
And Red Rum spelled backwards is murder. Okay, so this is, there is no edification coming out of this, man. This is just a bunch of madness, like the title said, from prophet to gangster podcaster, the end of Guerrilla Hebrew. Sheesh. All right, and I don't know who this individual is. I couldn't tell you, but IOCK, Israelite only, camp killer. So they probably ain't too strapped tight anyways either. But like I said, there's no edification out of this, man. We talking about a bunch of bullshit. And if you watching these guys, or this guy in particular, and he going into all this, where's the edification at? This is not what the Lord called us to do. This is not why we're in this truth. This is not how we're supposed to carry ourselves in this truth. This is off. All right, and Hey, no, this ain't a hit piece against Ahlazar. Hey, this is just, as we see these things, we have to rebuke these things. Okay, and this is ultimately love. Okay, to tell you, hey, this shit is off, bro. This shit is, to me, hey, personally, it's corny. I think it's kind of corny to go on these platforms that you got from, teaching about the truth and go start talking about gangbanging and shit. That shit is stupid. All right.
With Red Rum. He probably was on drugs, feeling sad. Man, the homies don't fuck with me. Well, the homies don't fuck with you, nigga, because they don't know you.
And granted, like I said, people come from different backgrounds, but when you come into this truth, you're supposed to be changed. You're supposed to be, a new man, reborn, okay, and, putting off the filthy conversation of the wicked. Let's go right here. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "This I say, therefore, and testify to in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind." You see? So we're not supposed to walk as these other Gentiles walk. Our people that have not come into this truth, those are the Gentiles. They don't know Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi that's out here gang banging and twisting their fingers and smoking blacks and miles and blunts and shit. That shit is off. And we've all come from different lifestyles. Like, hey, I'll tell you, hey, I used to do a lot of this stupid shit too when I was younger, but let me grab that scripture real quick. Beautiful. Just brought me to that. I'm gonna come back to that. But it's a point where you have to grow up. Okay. There's a point where you have to grow up and let me see. Bear with me 1 second. It says 1 Corinthians chapter 13, which these are Paul's letters, which they say are not canon. They don't really believe or hold them or reverence them seriously, unless it's to prove their own point. It says 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse I get right to the point. Verse 11, it says, "When I was a child, I spake as a child." You see, so before we came into this truth, we were children. We didn't know a damn thing. So we spake as children. "I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things." And this is the point. We have to put away these childish things, man. All right, the ways of this world, we got to put that stuff away. All right, it's not beneficial for the spirit. It's not beneficial for the truth. It's not beneficial for salvation. Okay. It says, you got to understand that when you do these videos, the whole point of doing these videos is to reach, the elect. We call ourselves the hopeful elect, but we do these videos to reach the elect. You may have an elect brother that may come across your video, and he might never seen a video a day in his life. Okay, or a sister. They might not have seen a video a day in their life, and if they see some shit like this, they're going to think that this is what this is all about, and it's not. Okay? It says, I'm going to kind of jump back and forth in the NLT. It says, in the NLT, it says, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17 in the NLT, "With the Lord's authority, I say this, live no longer as the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused." And you see these niggas in the back, I believe it's a music video with Future, and, these niggas are confused. They don't know left from right, right from left, up from down. So we ain't supposed to be living like that. I think I'm reading this in the NLT. It says, "Their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life of the Most High, which gives." Salakia. It says, "Their minds are full of darkness." You paying attention? Listen to this. "Their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life the Most High gives, because they have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against Him." And this is what Jake do. When you come into this truth and you start saying that this book and this, Apostle Paul ain't this, and you don't got to worship Yahawashi, you're closing your mind off from Yahawashi. And this is what happens when that happens. I believe this individual, Ahlazar, once said, he roughly paraphrasing, don't quote me, but he said his mind is in a constant state of delirium or something like that, man. That's not good. Okay, that's not good. It says, but that isn't what you learned about Hamashiach. You didn't learn this about Yahawashi. Everything he was saying in that video, and I realized that it was new because I was looking at the recent somebody crying again. But I realized I realize, maybe not, Salaki, if you're not, but I've been getting a lot of, you know, comments from IUIC followers. So, but I realized it was new because of the suggested videos in that video that he just did. This is pretty new. Okay. I hope that it might have been something in the past which shouldn't happen in the first place, but it was fairly new. So we don't hear much from Ahlazar anymore because this right here is what the shit that he's teaching now. It says, verse 21, since you have heard about Yahawashi and have learned the truth that comes from him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. So you got to throw that stuff off, man. You can't be, like I said, you can't straddle the fence. One day you want to be a prophet, a high priest, as he said. This guy said he was the high priest, the chief high priest, Puba, right? Then when that next day you want to be a gangster podcaster. That's not it, bro. Okay, that's not it. And this is why you going on platforms like No Jumper and stuff. That shit is wicked. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Okay, so let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. It says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And this is the problem with our people. A lot of them haven't really been, haven't fully come into this thing. You have not really been renewed. You've just been putting on the show for, the time being, but you really haven't been renewed. And none of us are perfect, but we're striving towards perfection, to the best of our ability. It says, put on your new nature, created to be like the Most High, truly righteous and holy. You see, truly righteous and holy. So certain things we can't do anymore. Certain things we can't talk about anymore. Certain ways we can't dress. We can't eat certain things that we used to eat. We can't, say certain things that we used to say. Yeah, that shit is dead. It's supposed to be, at least. It says, stop telling lies. Let us tell our neighbors the truth, for we are all parts of the same body. And don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry, for anger gives a foothold to the devil. If you are a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands for good hard work, and then give generously to others in need. You see, so hey, before you came into this truth, you might have been a thief, you might have been a gangbanger, you might have been a this, you might have been a that, but do it no more. Okay, that's the point of repenting, turning from that, right? It says, don't use foul or abusive language, which that's not. I'm gonna read that part in the KJV. It says, let not corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Okay, so corrupt communication goes into false doctrine, which there's been times where these guys have said things that was questionable, that wasn't sound. Let's go into this word, corrupt.
Strong's G 4550. Sapras.
Sapras, it says rotten, putrefied, corrupted by one, and no longer fit for use, worn out. You see? Listen to this, and this is what you're seeing in this video. Rotten, putrefied, corrupted by one, and no longer fit for use, worn out. And if the Lord feel like he can't use you no more, guess what he gonna do? Okay, you could be camping at camp one day and a damn blood come up and start shooting at the camp. This is why these guys be having guns at camp now. They carry sticks at camp because you putting a bad spirit out there, and that spirit gonna come back. It says of poor quality, bad, unfit for use, worthless. It says rotten, worthless, figuratively or morally bad, corrupt. You see? So when you're doing stuff like this is not good. Not good at all. Let's go into corruption or like communication.
Strong's G 3056. Lagos.
It says of speech, a word uttered by a living voice embodies the conception of idea, it's like it embodies a conception or idea. What someone has said. Um, it says matter under discussion, things spoken of, affair, a matter in dispute, case, suit at law. It's a lot of different definitions. I'm just trying to find the best ones. It says reason, the mental facility of thinking, meditating, reasoning, calculating. All right, so that's pretty much the point. But just know the math ain't mathing, okay? It's not. This is not what the Lord called us. The Spirit of the Lord called us to be in. So going forward, it says let's go back into the NLT, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 30. It says, do not bring sorrow to the Most High's Holy Spirit by the way you live. Remember, He has identified you as His own, guaranteeing that you will be saved on the day of redemption. And that's the whole point, to be saved on the day of redemption. All right, so don't cause sorrow to the Lord, man. Okay, and grieve not the Holy Spirit of the Most High. It says, get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. And that's evil behavior. Gang life, that gang shit is evil behavior. It is not according to the Spirit of YAHWAH. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as the Most High through Hamashiach has forgiven you. So you can't be holding on, that whole colors thing, what set, what set you rep, and what, colors you bang. That shit is, no siree. Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word that the Lord Yahweh Shai. Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai, O people of Israel. The Lord has brought charges against you, saying, there is no faithfulness, no kindness, no knowledge of the Most High in your land. You make vows and break them. You kill and steal and commit adultery. There is violence everywhere, one murder after another. And this is what you see in the J community. And a lot of that is due to this gang shit. It's a cycle of death and destruction. Okay, in the KJV it says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood. That's called black on black crime or brown on brown crime, whatever they want to call it nowadays. That's straight killing each other. All right, and you gotta when you go on no jumper, no jumper, they're responsible for a lot of gang violence in that area. All right, because you have different gang members going to that platform, and I forgot his name, Adam Grandmaster or something like that. But Adam 22, he pushes that shit. All right, and this nigga been assaulted on his own platform a few times for pretty much forwarding that culture. Okay, so he'll have different gang members go on the platform, and they'll diss the other gang member, and then they leave the damn interview, or even at the interview they start fighting each other and shooting each other and shit. This is not fruitful for the spirit. It says that is in the NLT, verse 3, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3. That is why your land is in mourning and everyone is wasting away. This is why you see Jake getting, taken out. The land is through. Even the wild animals and the birds of the sky and the fish of the sea are disappearing. Don't point your fingers at someone else and try to pass the blame. My complaint, you priest, is with you. You see, and you claim to be a high priest. It says, so you will stumble in broad daylight, and your false prophets will fall with you in the night, and I will destroy Israel, your mother. Verse 6, my people are destroyed because they do not know me. Since you priests refuse to know me, I refuse to recognize you as my priest, since you have forgotten the law of your power. And this is why Ahlazar, you say you a high priest, you're the high priest of all Israel. The Lord has not recognized you as a high priest because you, first of all, said you don't got to worship Yahawashi, which is off. Okay. Scripture says, kiss the son, lest he be angry. Let me grab that real quick too. But it says, I will forget to bless your children. Okay, so that will, what does that bring? Generational, they call that generational curses. Okay, because you're gonna raise your children to be up the same way, which if we had another lifetime here, because America's through, your children will grow up the same way, and it just be a perpetual cycle. Okay, which is not beneficial. Let me go right here. It says, it's like I'm on the other phone, so that's why you don't see it on the screen. Let me go back here for right now so you can see. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord Yahawah with fear and rejoice with trembling. You're supposed to serve Yahawah BAHASHAM with fear. If you truly fear Yahawah BAHASHAM, you'll be mindful of the content you put out. Understanding that, hey, the Lord can judge me for this. It says, verse 12, kiss the Son, lest he be angry and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. So we got to put our trust in Yahawah BAHASHAM, not in gang culture, not in any of this stuff. Okay, it's time to come back to the ways of Yahawah BAHASHAM. Okay, in truth and in sincerity, not just because the camera rolling, but also we're within your daily lives. All right. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 10. Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. And that's what this is about, reproving these unfruitful works of darkness, not having fellowship with them. Okay, you're not going to see us, click left, gang banging, wearing gang apparel. Certain hats, like this hat he wearing, this hat represents a particular gang. I believe it's the Hoover Crips. Okay. And I saw a video like that. You got over there in LA, depending on what kind of hair or what kind of hat you wear, that's why they wear these fitted caps, because that's a part of that gang culture shit. But depending on what kind of hat you wear, it lets people know what gang or set you are part of. Okay, so that's why he wears these H hats. All right, it ain't for Houston. So like it ain't for Holy. It's for Hoover Crip, okay? That's why it's blue. You got the star, okay? It says, verse 12, for it is a shame to even speak of those things which are done of them in secret. And when you talking about these gang banging niggas, the shit they've done in secret, they killing each other, popping each other wives, selling drugs, all type of evil, wicked stuff. Not saying that Ahlazar is doing that, but you're promoting that lifestyle when you go into these videos talking about this stuff. It says, verse 15, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. And what does it mean to be circumspectly? Paying attention, looking around. All right, and if you following after these individuals, that's why we subscribe and follow the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because they're not here doing this silly shit. You're not gonna hear them on a video, promoting gang culture. Okay, when they teach, they ain't teaching what fitted caps on and they pants hanging off their ass. Okay. And then this guy Ahlazar said that y'all old, talking about the elders and apostles, y'all old and outdated. Now it's time for us for the new no, nigga. Absolutely not. And this is why. It says verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And you got to respect your elders, man. All right, respect your elders, the men they taught you. Don't come up in here, trying to take the high seat and you can't even, you ain't even fit for that seat. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Right? And you got to truly understand what the will of the Lord is, man. Not just be out here doing a bunch of extra stuff that's not the will of Yahawah BAHASHAM. All right? It only leads to one thing, and that's death and destruction. Okay, so let me go here. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is something that we learn when we first come into this truth. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. And it reads, it says, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54, it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, let's grab this in the NLT as well. This is how we get a deeper understanding. All right. So we don't just be out here just reading stuff and, we got to get a deeper understanding of these things so we can fully come into the understanding of what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is requiring of us. All right. It says, so that the man that is tender among you, which means sensitive, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, because he wearing a different color. He wearing this color or that color. Now you want to kill him? It says, an evil toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Right. So you got Jake, never met each other a day in their life, but they cross paths, and because he wearing this color and you wear this color, he wearing this color and you wearing that color, y'all shooting at each other, trying to kill each other. That shit is evil. That's wickedness, man. And I never understood that about that whole gang culture shit. I never got down with that. I can't get jiggy with that shit. I'm gonna tell you right now. I got, shit. I'll tell you, my father, he's a Crip. My brother is a Crip. Okay, and I never subscribed to none of that shit. I got homeboys that's Bloods. All right, which or had, okay, that's Bloods. All right, and I try to bring them this truth. If they couldn't come into this knowledge, then not. And I was going the opposite direction. All right, our paths are not aligning. Okay, it says this is the word for tender.
Strong's H7390. Rach.
It says tender, soft, delicate, weak, and this is how you see these niggas. These niggas are soft, tender. I'm not talking about Ahlazar, but that gang, these gangbangers. They're really soft, weak. They need a gang of niggas around to feel strong. They can't walk with their chest out and their head up unless they got 20 niggas with them. Okay, if you look at them wrong, they ready to kill you. Like, come on, tender, delicate of flesh, weak of heart, timid. A lot of them niggas be gay too. A lot of them niggas be popping each other, bro, in these gangs, man. I saw a video the other day. Nigga put up on a nigga on the Ave, what do they say, on the blade. They say that over there on the blade, which is, the strip where they do prostitution at. You had a nigga out there that was a part of a gang, and he was out there selling his body. And one of his, former gang members saw him and got out and started beating his ass. So it's just a bunch of foolishness, man. And when you're not serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, anything starts, all these things of darkness start to become, intriguing to you. And if you don't have a particular set of principles and morals, and you're not following a particular law, predominantly the law of the scriptures, then you're gonna find yourself doing a lot of shit. A lot of these guys end up in prison. They be end up popping them white boys. Okay, finding them a little boy thing in prison. Then they don't want to get out of prison. They end up gangbanging in prison. A lot of people go to prison and become, and then get in gangs, which I kind of partly understand, because sometimes you got to do that. When you go to prison, at least some people feel like they got to do that when they go to prison for protection. But really, the best protection you can have is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, that's why a lot of people, when they go to prison, they start going into whether Christianity or Islam super hard. It says because you need protection, but the true protection is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says tender, literally or figuratively, by implication, weak, faint-hearted, soft, tender-hearted, one, weak. All right, so that's the type of people we'll be talking about. Let's bring it back in the NLT. It says, the most tender-hearted man among you will have no compassion for his own brother, his beloved wife, and his surviving children. And a lot of times these niggas be in these gangs, they be more for the set than they for their own children. More for the gang than they for their own wife, their own brethren. Alright? Which is just madness, confusion, and wickedness. and we can't get jiggy with that shit. All right, so that's why we do these videos to reprove it. Okay, like I said, nothing personal against Ahlazar. Like I said, I met him before. I met this guy down in Miami, and you know, he wasn't somebody that I would have, you know, wanted to be around for a long time, to say the least. I seen how he was moving and stuff, and it was just like, okay, yeah, nah, you know. But like I said, nothing against him. This is just for edification's sake. Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. And I say that because, hey, prior to coming into this truth, I was around that shit. You know, everybody, this set, that set. Oh, I can't go here because these niggas gonna be there, and da da da. Like, I go everywhere. I go anywhere. Okay, and my face clean. I ain't got to worry about who there or what this and what that. Nah, and that's what happens when you join them gangs. You pretty much isolate yourself from a portion of the world. Okay, you get isolated from portions of the world because these people gonna be over there, and you ain't never met them niggas a day in your life. They ain't never met you, but if they see you, you know, Jake getting all these tattoos, you know, gang shit on them and shit. It says Colossians chapter 3, verse 5, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things sake, it says, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. That's why you see niggas getting shot up, you know, down here in Florida. You know, Fort Lauderdale and shit. You heard about the Fulio shit. You know, you got those jakes are young, man, and then they get into that lifestyle, and then there's no getting out of it. You know, before you know it, everybody that was a part of that shit is either dead or in prison. And I had a lot of friends in the world that was into that gang shit, and a lot of them are either dead or in prison. Okay. I had groups of friends that I'm the only one that's still that's still alive. And why? Because I turned to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Okay? I turned to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and I tried to bring it to them. They rejected it. And then shortly after, they were, you know, put to death one way or another. So it says, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. So yeah, like I said, even us, we sometimes walk in these things too. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So you got to put off the old man with his deeds. It says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in the knowledge after the image of him that created him. So, you know, you got to put on the new man, right? Verse 12, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High. So this is what we're doing right now. This is why we're in this truth, to put on as the elect, not as a Hoover Crip, not as a Blood, Pyru, none of that bullshit. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. And I remember when I was in high school, I had beef with certain individuals. I had beef with them. I'm talking about, bro, it was to the point where somebody was gonna die. Okay, without saying too much, I'm gonna tell you that. It was like that. It wasn't no one fight we done a week. No, we was fighting every other fucking week. We fighting in school, outside of school. People was getting shot at, and it was like, damn, you know, it was a spiral. And I realized that, you know, if, you know, I had Satan in my head telling me, hey, you know, do this, do that, you know. And I was, hey, you know, by the grace of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, I didn't kill nobody, you know, but it was going to get there, all right. And I remember seeing some of these individuals years later after I came into the truth, and I seen these individuals, and you know, we would see each other, and it was no words, it's just a nod, you know, we acknowledged each other, you know, we had enough respect to acknowledge each other, but it wasn't no more beef, it wasn't no more trying to kill each other, it wasn't no more on sight, you know how you grow up and you young, like I said, you a young man, it's that on sight shit. You see a Jake on sight, nigga, we scuffling, you know. I was there, So we sometimes were in these things. We put off those old deeds, and you know what that showed me too. When I saw these individuals, and we was able to nod and acknowledge each other and go about our day, and continue on our lives, is that if I would have killed any of these individuals, it would have been for nothing. It would have been the devil using my ass, as we read earlier. You give place to the devil. The devil, Satan, would have used me to do some shit that I couldn't come back from, and I probably would have been in prison to this day. For something simple, something foolish, something stupid. So this is why we gotta, put ourselves in, the proper mind and the proper spirit, okay, and flee these things that are of this world. Verse 13, forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And this is, I remember when it was times where, I wouldn't, like I said, it was a on site type shit. But now I see individual, hey, what's up, bro? And if I see him, I'll bring him the truth. I had people that I truly did not like in the world. I truly did not like, just two different spirits. And if I seen them, or if I saw them, I brought them the word. I brought them the truth. Okay. Now whether they accepted it or not, that was between them and the Lord. But I did my part. It says, and above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness, or of perfectness. Salakia. But that was charity. All right. To when you bring somebody this truth, in all love and sincerity, that's charity. And it's all through the spirit of Yahawashi. Let me close this out though. It says, and above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness, or of perfectness, and let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. You see? So be thankful. The Lord gave us His truth, His knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Don't use it to promote some bullshit. Don't use it to do some nigga stuff. Use it for the light. We are the light in the world, and you got to be the light. But you don't want to be a light in darkness. You don't want to, be a night light. You want to shine bright. Okay. So that's going to take some change. All right, and change is good. Change is good, man. And it's crazy because this image right here of the brother, you can see his spirit is battling, is fighting. And that's why this person, whoever made this video, said, from prophet to gangster podcast. Because really, Ahlazar is having an identity crisis. He doesn't know who he want to be. And this is something that you should have figured out and chose and thought about prior to even coming into this truth, or, prior to really coming into this truth. You gotta choose. You gonna serve the Lord, or you gonna serve, this world. I remember being young. Real quick, I'm gonna close out Salakia. But this is a beautiful point that I want to make. I remember when I was young, and I was in the midst of all this beef and shit, and a lot of the shit wasn't even for me, it was for other people. Niggas that I ain't even cool with no more. I was fighting for niggas that I ain't even cool with no more. Niggas that I can't even talk to no more. I'm fighting for these guys and shit, getting suspended from school. But I remember when I was going in that lifestyle, it was like, okay, because like I said, it was getting dangerous. Any moment I could have got, taken out, or they could have got taken out. I could have went to prison. They could have went to prison. So I remember I have heavily in my spirits, like I had two, like I showed in the cartoon, there's two angels on each shoulder. One telling me to follow the path of righteousness, and one telling me to go all out and just crash out. And you know what I chose? To follow the path of righteousness. So a lot of this stuff that people do in the world, it's not it doesn't seem cool to me anymore. It doesn't fascinate me anymore. That's why I get a disdain when I hear people talking like this about this gang shit. That shit is weird. Let it go. Let it go and choose this day whom you shall serve. With that being said, I'm going to say Shalom, Kwame Sharala, Ababa Ball, double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, taught us His truth and truth is sincerity. Peace and salutations to the whole full scattered abroad. Shalom.